Hello, my name is Natalie. I'm 24 from Donegal. I grew up in a family of faith. On occasion we prayed the rosary as a family and we went to Mass together every Sunday. Now, I'm fairly reserved by nature, but on the inside I went to Mass kicking and screaming. I just didn't see the point in going to Mass. I remember in second class I learned from my teacher that the prayers of children were very powerful. This encouraged me to pray, so I started to pray every night before I fell asleep. Once I went to secondary school, that all changed. I had grown up, but my faith hadn't. I thought prayer was pointless. I spent my time listening to music. Not all of it was the best influence on me. While in secondary school, I had a few friends who didn't believe in God. Once, one of them lost her brother when he was only 21. She took it really hard. I remember having conversations with her about God and if he existed. She laughed and said, "God doesn't exist. If he did, he wouldn't have taken my brother away from me." I could see the pain that she was in, and whatever faith that I did have at that time was crushed. When I came into my fourth year in secondary school, I started to become more stressed with schoolwork and developed anxiety, which got worse throughout fourth year and on into fifth year. My mum and dad would encourage me to say prayers to the precious blood of Jesus. These prayers brought me some peace, but I didn't understand why, because I didn't have faith, and I just brushed it aside. After my granny died, my father started going to daily Mass, praying the rosary for consolation. He would be more at peace. I could see this change, and I wanted what he had. My granda had Parkinson's and he was unsteady and slow on his feet and had to use a walking stick. So my parents took him to a lay healer named John Gillespie. He had to be helped in and out of the car, and he received a healing that day, and he didn't need his walking stick anymore. This made me think more about the possibility of the existence of God. When secondary school came to an end, I started a course after the Leaving Cert, but I wasn't happy with it. And after a while I left the course, so this left me with more time and a deeper longing for God. One day I had a desire to go to weekday Mass with my dad. I felt at peace, more peace than I had felt in a long time. I started going to Mass every morning along with him, and I even started to lead a decade of the Rosary in the chapel before Mass. When the pandemic hit, I wanted to learn more about the faith, and so I began to watch Catholic videos. In this time I discovered that confession was a necessity and that it wasn't just an optional part of the faith. When I found this out, fear began settling in because I hadn't been to confession in over 7 years. So I prayed the rosary for the courage to be able to go. Then in February of last year, my brother offered to take me on a day out to Knock, and by the grace through Our Lady, we went to confession. I felt a weight had been lifted off me. I knew that sin was separating me from God, and now finally, after the grace of confessions, I was reunited with Jesus. I had been praying for a place where I could meet other people of faith and grow in faith, and the answers to my prayers came a couple of months later when someone sent a link of Holy Family Mission, which had been on nationwide in 2021. Then I started watching testimonies and homilies on the HFM website. I felt drawn to the community and sharing my faith with other people, so I decided to take a shot and apply. I did the interview, and thank God I got through. I must have charmed them with my accent. So there was no major dramatic turning point in my faith journey, but I'm not really the most dramatic person. When I arrived, I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know anyone. I'd never been part of any youth groups, and I'd never lived away from home. My parents dropped me off, and while they were delighted for me, I was a wee bit nervous. Thankfully, I was distracted by the 3-hour process of unloading my luggage. After a cup of tea and a few chats, I was settled in, and now I feel that Holy Family is like a second home to me. Thank you all for supporting me and all the young people here through your prayers and generosity. God bless you all.